Russell Wilson, once celebrated as a pioneering quarterback and a fan favorite, now finds himself at the center of controversy, labeled by many as one of the cringiest players in the league. How did this former champion and Super Bowl hero fall from grace and become a target for ridicule? In this video, we unravel the journey of Russell Wilson, exploring the pivotal moments that transformed the narrative around him and left fans questioning his legacy. Buckle up as we dive deep into the rise, fall, and potential resurgence of one of football's most polarizing figures. Russell Wilson's journey into the NFL began with skepticism and doubt. Drafted as a third-round pick by the Seattle Seahawks in 2012, the odds were stacked against him. Many believed that his height, standing at 5 feet 11 inches, would hinder his performance, particularly in a league dominated by towering quarterbacks. But Wilson quickly silenced the critics. He strutted onto the field as a rookie with unmatched confidence and poise, leading the Seahawks to a stellar 11-5 record and a playoff berth in his first season. His unique blend of arm strength, agility, and football IQ set him apart. Not only was he making big plays with his right arm, but his ability to scramble often left defenses scrambling. Fans were captivated by his creativity and readiness to make split-second decisions. The following year marked a monumental turning point. Wilson's leadership shone brightly as he propelled the Seahawks to Super Bowl 48. The team's defense was dominant, but it was Wilson who orchestrated their offensive plays with finesse and flair. His performance in the big game was stellar, culminating in an overwhelming 43-8 victory against the Denver Broncos. Wilson became a national icon overnight and was lauded for his exceptional skill and work ethic. But the magic didn't stop there. Wilson continued to break records and make headlines, seemingly every week showcasing why he was one of the top-tier quarterbacks in the league. With his infectious smile and down-to-earth demeanor, Wilson quickly became not just a player, but a role model and ambassador for both the Seahawks and the NFL. Fans adored him for his humble beginnings and relentless drive to succeed, making him a household name. Yet, this success wasn't just about talent, it was also about charisma. Wilson was more than a player, he was a brand. Endorsements rolled in, television appearances followed, and his reach extended far beyond the football field. But as they say, what goes up must come down. And as Wilson enjoyed the heights of fame, unseen fissures began to develop within the league and his own team. As Russell's star began to rise, so too did a growing tension within the Seahawks locker room. His remarkable talent on the field cast a shadow that, unbeknownst to him, heightened scrutiny off it. Players started to notice the preferential treatment he received, which stirred whispers of discontent among teammates. The infamous 2014 minicamp serves as a pivotal moment in this narrative. Russell was granted privileges like arriving late to practice and leaving early, perceived by many as blatant favoritism. Suddenly, the unity that had led the Seahawks to victory was crumbling under the weight of ambition and jealousy. Key players, particularly on the defensive side, began harboring frustrations over Russell's growing celebrity status. They felt he was prioritized over everyone else, which stoked feelings of resentment. It wasn't just about winning games anymore. It became a clash of egos and locker room chemistry. What does this mean for the team? The growing divide affected their performance during critical moments on the field, where collaboration and trust once thrived. This unraveling dynamic became evident in their next playoff runs, and fans were puzzled by the changing tides. The shift from a tight-knit team to a fracture was palpable. Russell's struggle to connect with teammates became an underlying theme, leading to questions about his leadership style at a time when the stakes couldn't have been higher. And what happened next would shock everyone. Super Bowl 48 seemed like a defining moment for Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. The stage was set for glory, with the Seahawks dominating their opponents throughout the season and creating a buzz about their possibility of a dynasty. However, the game turned tense when fans expected Wilson to make the smartest decision of his career, and he didn't. As the Seahawks approached the end zone, a victory seemed inevitable. With just seconds remaining on the clock, the team had the perfect weapon at their disposal: running back Marshawn Lynch, known for bulldozing through defenses. In a shocking twist, instead of handing the ball to Lynch, Wilson pulled the trigger on a pass. The result? An interception by New England Patriots Malcolm Butler, a moment that would haunt the Seahawks for years. This fateful decision sparked not only outrage among spectators, but sent shockwaves through the locker room. Many teammates were left shaken, feeling that the moment's pressure had compromised what should have been a straightforward winning play. But what compounded the issue? Rumors began swirling about Wilson's celebrity status overshadowing the team's unity. Could his off-field persona, complete with commercials and public appearances, have created a rift? In the wake of that game, voices of discontent arose within the team, suggesting that Russell's decisions were often influenced more by his desire to maintain his image than to prioritize the team's success. The fallout marked a key turning point in Wilson's career. Fans who once cheered for him now started to view him with skepticism. Questions began to bubble up. Was he truly the game-changer everyone believed? Or was he a player too consumed by his legacy? This controversial moment not only altered the Seahawks' trajectory, but also laid the groundwork for tension that would follow him into the later stages of his career. Wilson may have hoped for redemption, but as he transitioned out of Seattle, the shadow of that Super Bowl decision loomed large over him, reminding fans of the catalyst that triggered his fall from grace. But that wasn't the whole story. It was just the beginning of a roller coaster ride filled with twists, turns, and more revelations. After a blockbuster trade that sent shockwaves through the NFL, Russell Wilson arrived in Denver with high expectations and a gleaming new contract. Fans eagerly anticipated a resurgence, hoping the veteran quarterback would inject life into a struggling Broncos offense. However, what followed was a series of baffling performances that left both supporters and analysts scratching their heads. In his first season with the Broncos, Wilson struggled to establish chemistry with his new teammates. Passes that once found their targets with pinpoint accuracy now sailed over receivers' heads or fell harmlessly to the ground. The struggles were compounded by his increasing tendency to force plays, often leading to turnovers and derailing critical drives. By mid-season, Broncos fans were expressing deep frustration, with many questioning whether he was truly the franchise quarterback they needed. Rumors began to swirl about the internal dynamics on the team. Reports surfaced that players were frustrated by Wilson's celebrity status and how it seemingly overshadowed team goals. The locker room was divided, complicating an already challenging situation. No one expected the quarterback known for his charisma and leadership to appear so out of sync with the locker room vibe. As losses piled up, so did the pressure. Critics began to examine Wilson's approach, pointing to moments where he prioritized personal branding over the game. His social media presence, which had endeared him to fans in Seattle, began to feel out of touch amidst Denver's mounting turmoil. Amidst this chaos, rumors circulated that Wilson was resistant to altering his game to align with the team's system. Defensive players, frustrated by a lack of production, voiced their discontent. The juxtaposition of Wilson's flashy off-field life versus his on-field struggles created a perfect storm, sending shockwaves through the organization. By the end of the season, the promise of a winning strategy seemed far from realization. The questions about Russell's leadership and adaptability loomed larger than ever. Would he be able to rebound and reclaim his former glory, or were the Denver Broncos stuck in a convoluted cycle of disappointment? Russell's decline in Denver not only raised eyebrows, it forced fans to confront an unsettling truth. Sometimes, change can lead to unexpected outcomes. Ultimately, the impact of his time in Denver became a significant conversation starter about the transient nature of success in the NFL. Would the former Super Bowl champion rise again, or was this the beginning of a prolonged period of obscurity? As the dust settles on yet another disappointing season for the Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson finds himself at a crossroads. The play that once lit up stadiums and captured hearts now seems distant, and murmurs of uncertainty permeate the franchise. Can this former MVP candidate rediscover the spark that made him a household name? Or is this the beginning of a downward spiral? Despite being lauded for his work ethic and commitment, whispers of discontent have emerged from the locker room. Some teammates are growing weary of his celebrity lifestyle overshadowing the grind of the game. Will Wilson adjust his approach, or will pride keep him locked in his ways? The organization is asking tough questions. Is he the right fit for a franchise seeking revival, or does a complete reboot lie ahead? In the midst of speculation about trades or future strategies, the real question remains, what does Russell truly want? A chance to prove doubters wrong, A path back to the playoffs? With eyes on his legacy, Wilson's quest for redemption could define not just his future, but also the trajectory of a once promising team. Will he rise to the occasion, or will time continue to slip away? One thing is clear, the clock is ticking, and the NFL is watching. In conclusion, Russell Wilson's journey from celebrated superstar to a polarizing figure in the NFL highlights the unpredictable nature of fame and success. Once lauded for his on-field prowess and charismatic presence, his career has become a reflection of the delicate balance between personal ambition and team dynamics. As fans and analysts alike ponder whether Wilson can rekindle the spark that once made him a champion, one undeniable truth stands. The love of the game can quickly shift into criticism when expectations are unmet. The saga of Russell Wilson serves as a powerful reminder that in the world of sports, resilience is key, and every player, regardless of their pedigree, must navigate the highs and lows with grace. What remains to be seen is whether Wilson can rise from the shadows and reclaim his place in the hearts of fans, or if he will remain a cautionary tale of how quickly the tides can turn in the NFL.